All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Hope everyone is having a good morning. We really don't have a bad market today. I'm actually excited about it. We have Mitch here already.
Good morning, guys. How we
Good
doing?
morning. Good morning.
Excited to get another day at it. Let's do
Whoa,
it.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Sorry, guys. I had I had too many going at one point. Sorry about the echo, guys. But yeah, hope everybody's having a good morning. Mitch, hold it down, brother. I'll be right back.
All right, all right. How we doing, guys? All right, I'm gonna put up my pre-market watch list.
All right, you're up, man.
All right, guys. I'm gonna put up my pre-market watch list here, guys. I got pretty much the stocks that we've been watching lately. Got a couple new ones to add to it. Um, One that I am adding to it now that's tradable for us is Visa. Visa is going to be one that's extended. This is my early morning watch list. Probably refine it in a little bit. I'm definitely liking NIO and Yoko. I'm sure you guys saw me make a beautiful trade on Yoko yesterday, finishing the day up over $200, and the trade itself was an over $350 trade. So great trade. Watching NIO here, guys, it's really been building up. It broke out yesterday, and now we've been having kind of this pre-market move here. We've gotten the first move, the second move. It's really starting to hold these 740s. 740s are going to be an important level to see if it can hold to the market. If not, I'm going to be looking for this to tank down and head to this 720. Another play that I'll be looking at for today, of course, is going to be Yoko. With Yoko, the real key thing with Yoko is that we need to see it get back up to this $8 range. If we want to play this on the long side, we need to see it above 8. And if we're going to play this to the short side, this is when I start trying to get deeper in the pattern. I go into 15 minutes or an hourly chart, and I can already determine that an important level this stock has to get up is above 8. But once we get above 8, we have 852 as resistance, and up there at like 918 for another resistance. For a breakdown, I would need it to come down below $7 and test this support here, which is 689. So the important levels today to look to see if it's going to be more in a bearish or bullish sentiment is I would look to see if it was above 8 on the bull side, and on the bear side, I want it to come down and test this 689. I want it to really flush down through 7 and give us that quick move. Another stock I'm looking at is Kron. Kron on the daily has actually really been going up in the last couple of days. It's not drastic, but it's just slow stair stepping up, up, up. What we're looking for on this stock is the daily resistance to come into play. We have a good daily resistance here at $9. I can definitely see it kind of rejecting and making a move back down to this support here, which is going to be at 750. 750, important support level. So if we go and we crack back down, try to get below to $8 today, I'll be looking to try to tackle this one heading towards 747, or I could see it hold and get above 9. I don't really want to play this one more on the bull side, as I don't believe this is bullish on the daily pattern, but I will go ahead and just keep watch on it.
Yeah,
Another
for
one I'm
sure.
going to be taking a look at is Visa. Visa super extended, guys.
Yep, yep.
Up there, all the way up there at $14. This is a stock that if you look on the daily chart, what do you guys see? You guys see pumps up, immediate down moves, pumps up, immediate down moves, pumps up, immediate down moves. So this stock has a tendency of being very volatile, has a pretty much a daily range from month to month between $8 and $14. Now we're back up there at the resistance. And one of the key things I always look for is how many times has it been up here before, and how many times has it failed this pattern.
Yeah,
Break
VSO
down the
looks good.
daily chart, and you get a little closer into these last moves that it's been trying to get above this 1470s, 1475s. I have right here. That's going to be really the key level, guys. We've gotten one touch, an attempted touch here, two or three touches in between this, a fake breakout here above 15, and now we're getting this move here, all the way up there. High was 1469. So really look for those 1470s. If it gets above that 1470s, it could have that real potential to break out. If not, a lot of times when the stock gets up there, it goes up to that resistance level and then just starts knocking right back down, getting back down to the levels. So that's my main watch for today. I'll let John take back over as I focus in and narrow down my stocks for the day.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, honestly, I like today. Today looks pretty decent, really. The one I'm kind of bummed out about not being able to trade is RGLS. That one looks really good, gapping up from 188 to 222, about 44 cents. It looks like. Had a lot of support at 220, so was really interested in maybe shorting this one under 220, but it's not tradable. Just got to move on, but there's plenty that are tradable. Like Mitch mentioned, NIO looks great. We'll see what happens with it. VCell, super extended on the daily. Cron, CGC. We have LCI. I don't know if that one's tradable or not. We have MYL. That looks good as well. So we have some options today. Maybe jump in with some bigger sizing. You know, I was talking to Mitch yesterday. It's definitely time to use bigger sizing. Was waiting for the market to heat back up a little bit. I think it has done that some so far. And so the range of NIO is definitely pushed up. The last few days, the range has been pretty small. And so the range is actually back up with NIO. I actually traded this one yesterday. Made a little bit of money on it. And so we'll see what happens, you know. But yeah, I think NIO is earnings. Positive earnings, correct? I believe so. I'll look them up in a second, but I think it's positive earnings for NIO. Let's see what else is popping up on my scanners here. We have GoGo, GOGO, gapping up some. Doesn't look bad either. What's up, Seven? Good morning, man. Wow. Okay, so watching GOGO as well. Let me catch back up on the chat. Good morning, Foy, KC Mac. What's up, brother? Huguetes, good morning. Netron, good morning. Jason, good morning. Sultan, good morning. Yeah, for sure. Definitely watching NIO. SQ for earnings tomorrow. Let's look at SQ. Yeah, SQ's looking pretty good. Not a bad gap up there. What's up, John? Good morning, man. JJ, good morning. John O. Two-way trader, good morning. The best. Wahid. Loris. But yeah, not a bad morning, really, guys. I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing. A lot of volume. So hopefully, you know, this is an indicator of what's to come. But so first off, today's news is brought to you by SnapTrade. I'm going to look up the news in a second. If you haven't heard of SnapTrade, it's an awesome free scanning software for traders to take advantage of. I build my watch list here each morning. You can see I have today's watch list built here, and I share it with a decent amount of traders. And so if you want my watch list shared with you, you can sign up. But you can see it shows you a lot of good info like volume change percentage, market cap, technical signal. And then they also have scanners. So regardless of what sector you really like trading, whether it's the cannabis sector that's been hot lately or the high gainer penny stocks, high gainer volatile stocks, upcoming earnings, recent earnings, crypto, you know, they typically have a sector for you, gap up. And so they usually have a sector for regardless of what your niche in the market is. And they also have news on their site. I can just click today's news and go to watch list and see all the news that are on my watch list. And so pretty cool features from SnapTrade. I'll post the link. Go check them out. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look up NIO. Who got this? That's probably my first one. So just give me a second. All right, so yeah, it looks like NIO put out quarter 4 earnings, quarter 3 as well. See if I can find the exact catalyst for this one. All right, so NIO is a Chinese electric vehicle stock. It announced its unaudited financial results for the quarter ending in September 30th. Revenues were 469.6 million, 214 million US dollars. Quarterly deliveries reached 3,268 vehicles. In the third quarter, like I said, their total revenue was 469.6 million, which is 214 US dollars, or 214 million US. It represented a 3,095.3% increase from the second quarter in 2018. And so that makes sense why NIO is kind of going crazy this morning. Gross margin was negative 7.9% compared with negative 333.1% in the second quarter. So the gross margin loss was brought down substantially, around 325% better than it was in the last quarter. Loss from operations was 2,809.9 million, which is 409 million US in the third quarter of 2018. That's an increase of 49.9% from the second quarter. Adjusted loss was 377.7 million or 346.2 million in the third quarter of US. Increase of 31.3%. So good earnings there. Let's look at the history of NIO. Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's kind of like the Chinese Tesla. Okay, so I remember when NIO debuted here. And it did, it got up to 1380 and then just dropped down to 6. It's been holding support at 6 fairly well. But at this point, it's gapping up. A lot of volume. It's at 720s. So interesting here to see what happens with this one. I'm not super confident in a short just because the earnings were pretty good, but they did have a few losses. But I'm definitely going to watch it and maybe take a shot here with this one. It just depends on if it sets up or not. Also looking at VCEL, VCEL here. You can see VCEL is this bottom chart here. Let's see what's going on with this one. It looks like a third quarter earnings. They reported losses of 2 cents per share, which beat the analyst consensus of 11 cents per share by 81.82%. This is an 87.5% increase over losses of 16 cents per share at the exact same time last year. And so VCEL, definitely bringing that loss down from what it was last year. They reported sales of 22.5 million for this quarter, which beat the analyst expectations as well of 18.14 million by 24%. That's up 57.78% over last year, which was 14.26 million. And so positive earnings and revenue for VCEL. Not positive, but better than expected earnings and revenue for VCEL. And so we'll see what happens with this one as well. Definitely watching this one for a potential short. Also looking at CRON. I haven't had the best luck with CRON lately, but the volume doesn't look too bad here. We'll see what happens with it. Unless anything new came out. So the only thing I see out for CRON right now is that they're denying ties to organized crime and mafia. I don't know if it's. Let me see.
Yeah, that's 100% true, guys. Right there, the mafia.
Hey man, this is what's in my news when I type in CRON. I'm just trying to make sure it's CRON and not another.
Y- the mafia's pumping money in Kron. What's going on here,
I don't know,
guys?
man. Something's up with that, man. Um,
What's going on here? Huguetta's over here with the Chinese Tesla.
yeah. I mean, it's a. Whoa.
Marley.
Oh yeah, no, I immediately knew what it was. But yeah, it's not actually tying it to any specific stock I'm seeing for this news. Let me read this article, man. I feel like I need to at this point after giving a headline like that. They're being very vague though. They're not actually saying a specific company. It's Canadian because I see the RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, is what that stands for. Um, yeah, they're not really saying a specific. I guess this is just in the overall sector where they asked a lot of these companies if they would deny mob ties, and obviously most of them did. I mean, I don't think any of them's actually going to admit that. Right, that makes sense. What's up? Two-way trader. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's 15 minutes delayed or not. It'd be best to ask them. Here, I can look at it and tell you though. Let me just look at it and tell you. I could just look up Snap Trade. Go to my watch list and then look to see where these numbers are. All right, NIO showing at 668. Yeah, these are overnight results, I think. Yeah, these are. I think they update each night. Is what happens with the watch list for the scanner. Let me check this out. Recent earnings is probably what I want to look at. PBR had earnings come out on it. DRNA is going up. Ooh, look at PBR, bad earnings. I'll look at PBR. I'll watch PBR as well. But yeah, I'm not sure. I think a lot of these are taken the day before actually on SnapTrade. What I really like using SnapTrade for is watch list building. I think the scanner's great. Right, 100% is Mayo. That's what I'm saying. Of course they denied it, man. Yeah, for sure, Jason. That's what I'm seeing too. What's up, Gentle Giant? What's up, man? Appreciate it, brother. Good morning, Felix. Yeah, INUV looks good as well. It's not tradable for me, but I can look that one up too. INUV and RGLS. RGLS looks pretty good. It's not tradable either, but if you could trade these two. RGLS has a very obvious bottom of the pre-market levels at around 220. I thought that looked pretty interesting there. You know, when I short, I usually like shorting these once they break under these lows. Kind of turns into an all-day fader a lot of the time back down to the closing price. So kind of what I'm looking at for RGLS. INUV looks pretty strong too. So I'll look up those two just for news sake. All right, INUV. So INUV actually announced that it's being acquired yesterday. Um, with regard to who is acquiring them, let me look it up. Conversion Point is acquiring them. And so that's what's going on with INUV. It's getting acquired, actually. Next one I can look up is RGLS. So RGLS is focused on the development of medicines targeting microRNAs. They stated that they put out a press release Tuesday, so this morning I guess, that that they have amended and restructured, quote unquote, a collaboration and license agreement with Sanofi. They granted Sanofi a worldwide exclusive license for development and commercialization of their biodrugs. So interesting here. We'll see what happens with RGLS as well. There's also GOGO here. I can trade this one, I believe. GOGO. You can see it's got a little gap up there too. Let me make sure I can trade this one. Yes, I can. So GOGO is not looking too shabby here as well. We'll see what happens with that. And yeah, that's about it. ONCS. Wow, look at that gap down for ONCS. Yeah, for me at least, this gap down is just too much for me to short it. MAXR gapping up some as well. We also have LCI on low volume. MYL is another one I'm looking at, gapping up. Looks like it's probably earnings, I'm guessing, for MYL. Yeah, definitely watching VSell. That's on my list. ELF, that's an ETF, isn't it? Oh, no, it's not. Oh, yeah, ELF. I noticed this one yesterday. I got pretty bummed out, though, because I checked it, and it's not tradable. And I really like this one, too, just because the pre-market levels are so obvious. You know, you can see a lot of support there at $13. If it breaks under that, it's got a little bit of room down to $12. And so I was kind of bummed out when I checked this one yesterday, just because it's not tradable. Honestly, though, the market's not looking too bad. You know, we're actually having a decent amount that look okay this morning. We have SQ on positive earnings, I think, after a big red day yesterday. But look at that fade. Beautiful little fade there. And then AMD faded perfectly yesterday. Multiple times. Look at AMD's fades yesterday, man. Beautiful fades. Twice. You got the first one at the open that I called out and was bummed out that I missed. And then we have the second one here. Tight risk of previous high. Right here. And then a reward level up there. So big risk reward. I'll be watching AMD for those reasons as well. It also rebounded yesterday, so we'll see what happens today. But main watch is NIO, VCEL, CRON, MYL.
Hey, John and everybody. I kind of made a lovely, huge disaster in my kitchen, so I'll be back right before the bell probably. Was making my coffee, and guess I decided to turn on the wrong burner.
Ooh. Good luck with that, man.
Yep, so I'll be right back, guys.
Later, bro. What's up, James? Grab some CHFS. at, did you grab it at 115? Not bad. Small range. We'll see if he gets that spike though. I like the gap up. YECO popping up on the scanners too. Mitch traded this one last night. Starting to gap up a little bit as well. ABIO. ABIO sitting around 84, 85 cents. Had some resistance there in pre-market from yesterday. We'll see what happens with that as well. You draw out some levels here before the open. Get ready. Remove some of these. I like those two. Interesting. You can see these levels I drew previously for NIO are actually following pretty well. VSO is going to be a little bit tougher to draw these levels on because the volume's a little bit lower, but obvious one at 14. Look at that previous high here at 1450. Looks good too. Maybe 13. What's up, Eric? Short swing, Ismail. RKDA. Let me look that one up on my other monitor. I want to see a little bit more volume, but doesn't look too bad. Oh yeah, you said light volume. Oh yeah, GSKY getting hit hard. All right. No long to fill the gap. Let me look at the daily chart. Where's this one at now? This one is at 1430s. So it's up. It's right about here. Yeah, I think it may test that high up today. I mean, it's interesting here. You know, you got this big level here at 15, at 1490 really. You know, you got a big resistance level there. It's kind of been the high for the last year. Tested it a few times, and so I think that's an interesting level to watch. Is that $15 point? You know, right here. See if it tests that, breaks that. See what happens with it on the daily. But yeah, guys, I may try to use a little bit larger sizing, you know. And so with that, you know, if I do take a loss, it's going to be a little bit larger. And so just keep that in mind. You know, last 2 days have been profitable for me, although small. I'm just ready to take a little bit more at the market. I've been waiting for the volume to heat up a little bit like it has today. And so we'll see what happens. But probably going to try to, you know, take my shot here and go for a little bit bigger sizing. It's definitely time. Volume slowed down last week, and so I'm not really upset with myself that I took it slow in the past week. But the last 2 days have been decent, and so we'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really, I mean, with VSEL, I'm not really biased in either way. I guess actually that's probably incorrect. I'm probably short biased just because a lot of times when a stock gaps up this much, they give some of it back at least. And so I guess for that reason, I'm short biased a little bit, but I could see the long logic as well, especially if it breaks 15. You know, 15 has been kind of that big resistance level on the chart. And so especially if it breaks that area, I could definitely understand the logic for going long in it. It's just, you know, my style of trading is looking for these big overextended gap ups and then shorting them the next day. And so that kind of sways me more towards being short. But one thing I've learned is you never really know. Yeah, man, I was looking at RGLS. It looks pretty good, man. I was really interested in that one as well, but it's not tradable, unfortunately. But it didn't look bad for sure. For RGLS, yeah, RGLS. I mean, it just has that gap. The reason I like RGLS for a short, here's the thing. I don't like it as much now. I didn't look at it, but it actually broke under that big pre-market support. You can also see maybe a little bit of a triangle formed there, a descending triangle. Look at that. And so, you know, if it would have held around this 220 level, I would have liked it a lot more. But since it already cracked under that and dropped almost down to 2, I don't like it as much. We'll see. You know, we'll see what happens. But like I said, I would have preferred it to stay up here. You know, at least close to the VWAP for me to get into the VWAP fade. If it's nowhere near the VWAP, I'm not going to have an entry with it. So we'll see. But, you know, like I said, I would have preferred it to stay up here. Rahim, I'm using Thinkorswim for charting. You can see Thinkorswim here on the right side of my screen. In the middle, these are Trade Ideas gap scanners. So this is Trade Ideas scanners. And on the left side, you can see my actual executing broker, which is TEFS, which is TradeNet. And yeah, if anybody's interested in signing up to TradeNet, I do have a link that gets you 10% off any package you choose. I make a small commission from it. I always try to be honest with people about it, but it's one of the ways I keep the stream free. And so if you want to help support the channel, you can sign up through my link, and I appreciate it if you do. Biggest flaw to TEFS and TradeNet is that some stocks are not tradable. I think, you know, a lot of stocks when I build my watch list aren't tradable. Like today, RGLS was not tradable. A few other ones, ELF wasn't tradable, and I really liked both of those, but that's kind of how it goes sometimes. Typically, we can usually find a decent amount. Man, look at SRNE. I completely missed this one as well. It popped up on my scanners. It's not tradable either, unfortunately. But like I said, Mitch and I usually find a few stocks to trade every day, and so it's not a deal breaker for me. Commissions are pretty cheap, you know, for my trades. When I take less than 200, 250 shares, it's like $3 or $4 for a complete round trip in and out. You know, $3 or $4, and so super cheap commissions. A lot of shorts. Anything that's tradable, I can short, and so it's kind of like my ideal broker. But like I said, some stocks are not tradable. You want to make sure to understand that. But there's the link if anybody wants to check it out. MNK. Yeah, MNK looks interesting. The volume's a little low, but we'll see if it breaks under that 2850 level. But yeah, top watches for me are probably VCEL, NIO, MYL, and CRON. All of those are gapping up nicely. Yeah, no stress, Raheem. Yeah, that means long and short. And so you can see here, I don't have it really up, but I can pull my trade manager up here, and I can look up to see which stocks are tradable. And so like I can look up NIO is tradable, MYL is tradable, VCEL is tradable, CRON is tradable, TRPX is not, GoGo is, PBR is, LCI is not, DRNA is, MYL, I think I looked that one up already, SQ is, TRPX is not. And so, yeah, some stocks are not. I think the way they describe it is that if a stock has less than 500,000 shares traded in the last 3 months, it's not on their platform. Like, you can't trade it. So, you know, the stock has to have okay volume, I guess, if that makes sense. Look at GoGo. Give all of these gains back. Wow. right before the open. Look at Geo. This was when I was watching for a short. It just happened so fast, but man, they had to have something come out on this one. Look at this drop. Complete gap fill already and dropping below the closing price yesterday. Wow, this thing just dropped from 636 down to 550 in 2 minutes. Crazy. Yeah, like I said, this was when I was watching, but man, it just gave it up so quick. Wonder what's going on with it. I'll have to look up the news one day. Let me see. I mean, it had good earnings, I guess, but something else must have came out with it. Because I'm not seeing anything. Something more recent must have come out for this one. Wow, and then it bounces back to 610. Just weird. Maybe a trader taking a big position in this one. Who knows? Cron dropping as well. YECO up some. Look, CRON dropping too. Down to 828. Weird. See what the SPY's doing. I mean, SPY's about break even. Maybe a little bit down. Yeah, for sure, two-way. WTER. Got to start getting ready for the open. I can look this one up really quick. It's just not my style. WTR, there's just no volume. No pre-market action. It's just not my style. Usually I look for big gap ups with high volume in pre-market, and this one's just not showing anything. So just not my style. All right, so we got a little bit over a minute. Getting ready for the open. We got MYL spiking up here, getting close to the pre-market high. All right, let me pull up my scanners. Sorry, I'm exiting out some stuff on trade ideas. I had too many things up. There we go. That's better. All right, guys, we got 30 seconds left, so good luck all. Correct, Lori's. I'm definitely more of a short bias trader. Although, I mean, I've been trading for a few years, and I have a few long setups that I trade as well.
All right, let's do this.
All right, we got 5 seconds.
Just in time.
Yes, sir. All right, there's the bell. All right, so PBR pushing up, NIO dropping some, which was to be expected. The only thing I don't like about it is the VWAP's a little bit too high with it. And with that, I don't know if it's going to give me that fade that I'm really looking for. We have DRNA dropping some.
Closing that gap I was talking about, guys, all the way back down already. NIO. Called that one in pre-market.
Yeah, the VWAP has to drop here. So remember VSEL. So $15 was that big resistance on the daily. So if you look at VSEL here and see the daily, that $15, really that $15.29 high is the high of the last year. But that $15 level is held as resistance. So if it breaks that, it could start to go bullish here. We'll see. See what happens at $15.29 specifically right here. Right there. We'll see what happens with it there. I think that's a pretty big level.
There's that big seller at that level.
At 15.29?
Boom. He ripped through it.
Yep.
25. He was right there.
All right, so it's actually at the highs. It just broke the highs of the last year.
CHFS going off on the high day momentum scanner also.
MYL pushing up here. Big spike for MYL. SQ, same thing, pushing up. Cron, kind of slow. Dull. All right, so there it goes. It broke the high again. You want to see a weird mover, Mitch? Look at Go-Go.
Oof, look at NIO.
I know, man.
Down.
Just got hit at that VWAP area. The VWAP's just not low enough for me, though.
It wasn't a bad idea. Just you have to know how to really have a really tight risk on this, and it's too close to the open.
For sure.
To have that tight of risk.
Yep.
You're not going to be able to manage 5-cent risk in the open. It's just
not reasonable.
Yeah, it's really, really hard. Almost near impossible.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, look at MYL really spiking up here. All right, so this is kind of the big make or break moment for VSell, I think. It could do a little VWAP bounce at the whole $1.15. And for that, I mean, I don't necessarily dislike that one. But yeah, there goes NIO. Just giving it back. We'll see if the VWAP drops down enough to give me a fade. We'll see if this gives me a VWAP bounce, but it's a little bit too late.
Looking at Yelko there. Starting to get some volume.
Yep. Hey, nice work, James. Ugh, look at NIO get hit, man. This is why I look for big gappers, because most of the time I short them. Nice little fade off the VWAP, but it wasn't the perfect fade because it wasn't a bearish trend at the open. It was a bullish trend. Faded off of it perfectly with tight risk at 36, but just didn't give me that move.
There's Yelko with some buys right there. 820s getting bought up.
Yep. And yeah, VSell's testing that 29 point. That's the 29 level. There's the rejection.
And AKD going off on the high day momentum scanner.
Is it tradable? I remember MNKD.
It's a no. It's a no, tradable.
It used to be tradable.
Yep. Used to be.
Volume's still low. Look at DRNA. I mean, the volume has just been pretty low with this one, and it's one of those gap ups that didn't really have any follow through volume with it. But, you know, kind of fading. Huge range. I'm not trading it. The spread's too crazy. All right, here's interesting for NIO. If NIO gets up to 720s, I'll consider it for sure. NAKD popping up on the scanner. Getting a lot of volume for NAKD spiking up here. Look at NAKD with that washout long move. Man, NAKD popping up on that scanner, man. Starting to go crazy. VSell, we'll see what happens with it. Really, at this point, I'm just watching NIO, see if he can get up to that 718, 720 level. If he gets up there, I don't mind it. Risk of 730, 735 maybe. But may pull back before then, may not give me that entry. We'll see. I mean, I'm kind of kicking myself. I called out DRNA. Looked like a nice little fade here, but the problem with it is the spread was just too crazy. 20-cent spread, but a nice little fade back down there. Range was huge, though, and the spread was a little crazy, but it followed through nicely. Doesn't look like NIO is going to give me that pullback to the VWAP at 720 either. was that?
It's my dog playing with his bone.
Not that. I heard a little ding noise. CCJ popping up on my scanners.
Watching D-backs here for a bounce.
It's not tradable.
D-backs?
Nope.
They did me like that?
Yep. I checked it this morning.
They saw me kill it. Oh, it is.
Oh, it is tradable? Really?
Yep.
Okay, cool. What's up, Tiny? Good morning. Good morning. A CALX popping up on my scanners. ADOM. I remember ADOM as well. Former runner. PYX just dropped $1 at the open. Nice little fade there too for PYX. It's a $25 stock. I didn't realize it was so expensive. What happened with that one? PYX. It is tradable. Okay.
PBR looking strong.
Look at PYX. Alright, so NIO just never gave me a pullback to the VWAP. Like I said, the VWAP was a little bit too high for me to really attack that one with the fade. PYX looks interesting here. Volume's not too bad. The spread's a little crazy, though. At this point, we've got a 17-cent spread, so not ideal. We got SQ breaking underneath the VWAP. We got MYL kind of battling to stay up as well, kind of falling underneath the VWAP too. We got GoGo, man. GoGo is the weirdest stock today.
Go.
GoGo. My country accent, man. All right, so we have PYX testing the VWAP. I like the risk. Spread is kind of gnarly on it. Don't know if I really want to approach that. RKDA popping up on the skaters. Yeah, there goes NIO. It just never really gave me an entry. Would have wanted it up here. You know, we're going to watch it a little bit later on, see if it pulls back there eventually, but never really gave me an entry before this.
Trying to get filled here in D-backs.
Man, RKDA popped up to 507 and then completely gave it back for what was that? I just looked at RKDA. AMD faded yesterday. I forgot to watch it today. Oh wow, AMD big run up today. But yeah, NIO just didn't quite get as high as I would have preferred it to. PYX just ended up following through over the VWAP. We'll see what happens with AMD here. See if it bounces off the VWAP there. Tight risk. MATX.
BOXL showing up on the high day momentum scanner.
Which one?
Box L.
BOXL. I remember that one too. Doubt it's tradable though.
Nope.
Yep. I think I checked that one yesterday. I think it's a crypto. No, actually, this is a charging car company. Electric car company.
This is why you got to pay attention to the high day momentum scanner and why we use trade ideas. All right, starting to see my pattern form on VSEL. VSEL, guys.
Yep, I see it.
Needed to hold these supports there at 63.60s.
Almost jumped in for a VWAP bounce on AMD. It just moved back up a little bit too quick, but you can see I like the risk of 1990 here. And regardless of whether it works out or not, I think 1990 is a solid risk area for this one. Tight. Pretty tight risk, so. But a little bit too late. We'll see how if it follows that area. Maybe it's a good thing I didn't jump in.
Be right back. Gonna get my coffee. Focus in, guys. Nail a trade. Do like VSEL setting up there, guys, but it needs to hold these 460s, make an attempt to run to 15, then hold 460 again, and then that's when I'll be looking to capture it.
All right, like I said, we'll see if this 1990 level holds. Doesn't look like it. Maybe it's a good thing I didn't jump in. AMD. Still testing 1919s or 1990s. See if the VWAP holds as resistance, maybe? No? I think Thinkorswim doesn't look that bad for me. I mean, I haven't really tried to get in anything yet. So.
Is RKDA tradable for us?
I seriously doubt it. The volume's been pretty low for that one. Really, really doubt it. Let me check.
All right, guys, it got hit right now. No. VSEL just got hit on the time and sales at 57 and 65. Just got hit by shorters. Let's see what happens here.
What happened with Kron? Kron rebounded.
Oh, getting hit.
Testing that $0.50. Spread. It's kind of spready. But.
All right, let's see this drive back here. All right, willing to attack this from 71 aspect to 88. I'm looking to get a little bit of shares in here, kind of size into this trade. I do see a big amount of hits right there. Want to see it bounce up, give me an ability to get filled, and I can manage my risk.
Here, I can throw you up.
Push. Yeah, let's see if this flushes down, gets me a little bounce so that I can get in this trade.
Did the meeting end for Zoom?
No, it should be there.
Oh, I had to find it. There it is.
Yeah.
There we go. I could throw you up there. The cool thing I like about this is that I can keep trading,
Yep.
or
Hey
I can
guys,
keep watching stocks.
looking for this bounce here to 470s where the support is, 460s. And that way I can base my risk up to 480s, 481s. Definitely saw the washout there through the 57s. Just the spread doesn't help either, guys, with VSO. The spread is almost about 12 to 15 cents. Now it's tightening up about 5 cents.
ANY.
Yeah, it looks like this stock is just going to tank down. Not seeing that quick bounce back that I like to get in on. So I'll just keep looking around, guys. Looks like this is not going to be it for today. It's already been knocked down. Unless it gets back up there to that resistance, I don't really want to take a trade. There's no reason to force something.
All right, so
Elko went up, straight back down. Something to keep an eye on the downside, but not setting up for any patterns right now.
Yeah, if it pulls up to 791, I like that $8 risk area.
Yeah, I was looking for that before when it first made the first move down, but never gave it to me. So
yeah.
NIO getting really smacked here at 80s. I'm thinking about maybe just doing this small pattern here. You got to stay tight. It needs to be a 10-cent risk. You could get a bounce back here. You got a down one, down two, up two. I think you're going to get an up three somewhere in the 690s here. But I don't know. It's kind of too tightly range bound. And the VWAP's up there about 30 cents higher.
What, on NIO?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to get up there. Like, if it gets up to 710, I like it. With a risk level of 722s, 723s. I like that risk level. Maybe 725 if you want to be a little bit more loose with it. But it has to get back up there.
Wish I could trade this IVC here. Getting an alert from
IVUC?
No, just IVC. It's not tradable for us though.
Man, that thing got hit yesterday.
There's VSO getting hit, and the bounce was right underneath kind of where the resistance and support was.
Right, I drew it out.
60.
Yep, that's 63.
That's kind of how I base my shorts on those pattern breakdowns. I want to get in as close as I can to what was the prior support and now should be resistance. All right, let's look around. Let's find a good trade.
Yeah, man. I mean, the market looked really good today. I just didn't see anything really set up like what I look for. And so
Nothing's
just
done yet.
right.
You know?
Just not going to force it, but just going to be patient.
Boxo, man.
I know. I saw that one on the scanners.
Up one, up two, down two, up three. Holds that support there at 215. It should break out there.
All right, so you look at YCO here. Too spready. Man, look at that spread, 20-cent spread.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with that.
No, man. That's half the range of the day, so no way.
It's difficult, to say the least.
Yeah, for sure. NIO maybe coming back here. Still got a long way to go. Got about 20 cents to go though. Nice two-way. Good work, brother. I mean, with VSEL, if it pulls back to the VWAP to 1480, it doesn't look terrible. I mean, it's up to 1470s. The VWAP is at 80. Spread's a little rough though. Yeah, I just don't know if NIO is going to get back up to that VWAP level. I like the risk. I like the resistance above the VWAP, but I just don't know if it's going to get there. BOXL spiking up again. Man, that scared me. Appreciate the sub, Joe. Welcome, brother. Appreciate it, man. Also, Matthew Morris. Appreciate it, brother. Welcome all.
See, this is about the area where I wanted to short VSO with the 71s, and then you can base your risk off of that probably 15 or 88 range. You know, it can do a VWAP rejection here. Then you can base it off of maybe 15.
That's what I was saying. It doesn't look terrible up here.
It's not the worst. It's just really quick moving. You just got to be real quick. Yeah. If I draw out the trend line that was made by the first two kind of attempts to go long, it kind of draws it right to 1490, and then you'll probably get that little down move right after that. The only thing I don't like about that is 1490 is really close to that 15. If someone scoops it, it can just start driving.
Yeah.
Go, jet plane.
I know, man. That's the one I said that was the weirdest mover today. Look at that move. Just bizarre with earnings.
Tradable?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's tradable. But, man, just a strange move for Go. Like, that thing gapped up to 675. Gave it all back at the open, right before the open, back down to 550. And then it rebounded back up to 717. So just a weird move on that one.
Yep, definitely. I got too many puns for this one. I just feel like Inspector Gadget.
Yeah. For Go.
Go plane. Go.
Right. And at VSEL, the spread's just too crazy now. It's 13, 14 cent spread.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't feel like being down that much. I'm kind of I was optimistic that NIO would try to make a run back up to the 708 level for the VWAP fade, but just don't know if it's gonna give it to me, man. Good market day, just not many of my setups there. Nice, Mike. Nice work, brother. And IO's kind of sideways at this point. CGC jumping. Yeah, CRON has been doing the same thing. Interesting here to see what it does at the high of the day. I mean, VSEL I don't think is terrible for a short. The spread would have to even out. But I don't think it's terrible. It's not A+, that's for sure. We got up to 87s on VSO.
Yep, it's getting up to that trend line, guys.
Yep.
NIO might get knocked down right here.
Yeah, I just never got as high. I mean, NIO was kind of my high hope for the day. See if it get back up to 706, 708, but it just didn't get there. So just kind of like a paper trade. We said if we got in V-cell short, we could use that 15 level as risk. I think it's definitely going to test. Yep, there it goes.
Yep, I had that feeling. It just matches too much of the pattern for it not to test it.
Right.
And then now that we get this test on the 5 minute, it looks bullish.
Yep.
Just because it looks bearish on the 1 minute doesn't mean it looks bearish on the 5 minute, 15 minute. Always use multiple time frames to determine your trade. You know, a lot of times we always look at that 1 minute. We don't even look at the 5 minute. 5 minute tells us that this stock is still holding good levels.
Oh yeah, Dries is actually getting hit, man.
Yeah, it was part of my watch list. It looks better now, actually.
Right. I mean, I'm still a noob, if you will, for options, but I'm holding dry put options on Dries and MRNS. They're both dropping today, so.
Is V so strong at 15?
It's struggling to get over it. We'll see if it actually cracks it.
UVR looks a little interesting there.
UBR?
PBR. Yeah, but not enough.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a pattern breakdown, but the full long pattern wasn't there, so I don't really like to see these. I like to see a lot of consolidation before I get that pattern breakdown move.
Yep.
But it's interesting. Just looking around, guys, not really seeing anything that just makes me want to jump at it.
Me neither.
And if there's nothing that jumps at it, I'll just hang around.
Right.
You know, there's nothing wrong with just hanging around. As we saw yesterday, we definitely saw stocks kind of light up just later on in the day.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, there's nothing wrong with just observing if you don't see your setups. I think, like I said, I think that's where a lot of traders do wrong. I think a lot of traders are actually successful when the market is good for their setups and when there's lots of setups there for them. But I think where traders really start to ruin their account.
NIO, guys, right there, smackdown on the time and sales. What do you get, guys? At 78, you get 6,000 shares to go through. At 76, you get another 6,000 shares to go through. This is what we teach nightly, guys. We want to teach you how to use the time and sales, not just use level 2. Too many traders out there are teaching level 2. The level 2 is just kind of just the demand and supply up there. It doesn't really tell you what's going through. And that's why I pay attention to more the combination of the time and sales with the level 2 so that you can really determine where the shorters and buyers are getting in.
Yeah, and if you use TAFs, you can change it so where your time and sales only shows big orders.
Yep, there's VSO above 15, now holding and looking long. No, this is exactly the pattern I kind of was seeing.
Right, $0 is better than losing, Dave, for sure, man. MRNS dropping under that big support level at 533. We'll see if it holds now.
I'm thinking about more like a VWAP bounce here for VSO. Yeah, I'm thinking about that.
I don't mind it if the whole dollar holds a support at 15.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing right now. I think we're going to get a pullback here, probably 1490s. You could risk off of 1480, 1470.
I was kind of looking at PBR for a bounce as well. The only reason I like it is because tight risk. You know, if you get in PBR, you can set your risk at this 1620 level. So pretty tight risk here. See if it bounces off this VWAP and heads back up. First profit target of 1645, 1650. Doesn't look bad.
right, some good buys there on that pullback for Visa. It's interesting there.
Netron says he hasn't bought anything in 4 days. Yeah, man. I don't blame you, bro. The last week or two, really, for me, has been just slow, dull. Not too much action that I really like in the market, and so when it's something like this, I mean, yesterday was decent. I didn't mind yesterday. Yesterday, even though the volume in pre was a little dull, once the market opened, we had some setups going on, so I really didn't mind it. Friday wasn't too bad either. Today looked good in the market. I mean, I liked all the gaps today. We had a decent amount of gaps, but it's just none of them followed through to my patterns, and that's really what I'm looking for. It's just if my pattern doesn't present itself, I'm not going to force anything.
Yeah, it looks like I missed my chance for the VWAP bounce there on Visa. It was a good chance to get in there in the 90s and risk off of either the 70 or the 80 level. I kind of liked it. It's just not really a play that I've done too often. So it's kind of hard to, really execute on a strategy that you haven't done too often.
Right.
Definitely gave me a possibility. And as you guys see it already up at 510, 511s, I would be looking to sell some here at 520 and then try to let it push to 540.
And for that reason, I'm out. Shark Tank.
Yep.
Shark Tank. Look at CCJ breaking the high of the day. But no, so somebody's asking any tips on how to increase the refresh rate for Thinkorswim. I've never really used Thinkorswim scanners. The only thing I really know how to do with Thinkorswim is if you go to the top right to setup and you go to application settings, you can go to system here and you can change your quote speed from either real time, fast. That might help if you have to refresh it. But maybe fool around with the application settings and it might help you. Kron about to test the pre-market high here. NIO forming a very obvious bottom here at 675. And that's something I think a lot of people also don't understand is that a lot of times the quarter dollar will actually be in play as well. Not just half and whole dollars, but the quarter dollar, 75, 25. A lot of people are watching those levels too, just because it's percentage levels. Yeah, ALLT popping up. Nice little VWAP bounce for ALLT, but low volume. Somebody saying we lost the YouTube feed. How's everybody's feed here on YouTube? Somebody saying we lost. Yeah, can everybody hear me? See everything okay? We should still be up, I think.
Should be fine.
Yeah, I'm showing we're still up. It's back. Okay, good. Alright, cool. Appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, SQ breaking under the VWAP. Just not really any of my patterns. I think today's more of a long day, except for NIO. But NIO just never pulled back to that VWAP level. Maybe the first fade would have been promising for NIO, but Not really my style of trading it.
One that has really surprised me and not moving is Plague. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's just stationary like a rock.
Look at Go-Go, man. Go-Go's surprising, man. Just a weird move.
Go jet plane.
It had a nice little VWAP bounce this morning. But I'm just...
Go.
Yeah. DRNA. There's some puns there. We'll have to think of them later. But DRNA faded nicely off the VWAP. The volume was just too low. Spread was a little too crazy for me, though.
All right, let's see what happens here with VSO, guys. This is going to be more the determining factor now. If we're going to buy up if they're going to buy up 510s and get it back up there, or if it's going to crash back down underneath VWAP.
Is that a margin call reference, 7? Great movie, though. Look at PBR, man. Bouncing right off of that level I drew, 1620.
It's going to be interesting here for VSO.
Yeah, Go. Probably a little bit too extended. Man, I gotta turn that down. That scares me. Appreciate the sub, Victor. Welcome, brother. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, Go. I mean, I might look at put options for Go. We'll see. Let's see if they sell them. They do.
Gotta look up the news. Gotta know why it's running.
Wow. I don't know.
There's VSO. They bought it up to 510s. They bought it up at 515s. 7,000 shares went through there. It's 515s. This is when I'd be selling out some of it and looking for that 540 breakout, guys. Could have been a really great trade for a VWAP bounce. Just not really my forte on the VWAP bounce, like more flag patterns. But you had one there for sure. Man, Yoko's too crazy to trade it here. I'm looking at Yoko, but the spread was ridiculous.
Chop City with Yoko right now, man.
Yeah. If it gets above 8, it'll start looking strong, but the spread is too big to even play that move. So you have to wait for it to actually react, make a drive, and then try to judge. Because if you try to judge in between here, you're just in the middle of all this chop in between the spread, and you're just going to wait until you get squeezed one way or the other. And you don't really want to be on that that side of a trade. It's really not a comfortable trade at all. AMD here. missed it by a couple seconds. Let's see if it bounces up here to 20. It bounces up here to 20. I might go short here off of 2004 or 2008.
Little bit of a downward wedge forming on NIO. You see NIO here. See what happens with it. Yeah, I mean, this is why, like, this happens so much with a lot of these movers, man. NIO, a lot of the time when a stock gaps up this much, it's just going to give it back. A lot of the time, you know. I know there's some traders that just look for gap ups and then just short them as soon as the open happens. And it makes sense why. Because if you look at most of these big gappers, a lot of the time they're giving it back. Yeah, you can see the little downward descending triangle for NIO right here. We'll see what happens with it. SQ maybe for a little VWAP rejection for SQ here. I don't mind SQ right here. A little outside my price range, but let's see. Let's calculate the risk real quick. Risk, I mean, reasonable risk would be 63, 65s here. Reward would be back down to the low of day at 75. So good risk reward. But outside my range. Yep, there we go. There's that triangle break for NIO here.
Kind of getting interested in AMAD. I was thinking about maybe longing it there. Looking good on the 5 minute to come back up to the resistance point, which is 2013. The only reason I didn't take that trade is that we always talk about risk to reward, guys, and this would be a 1-to-1 scalp. And I don't want to take a 1-to-1 scalp on days that I'm not finding my pattern out there. Don't want to force a trade. Don't want to take a 1-to-1 trade to end up losing and just killing your day.
Right.
You know, I'm up over 200 for the week already, and there's no point in giving that back. You know, giving that back is just it's just kind of idiotic, especially on a trade that it's not your normal thing.
Right.
If you're feeling the day's not going your way, you're not seeing the market, you're not getting the pattern that you need, just relax and wait for it. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, then get on out of here and go do something else.
Right. Get
It's
your
a
mind
lot
off
better.
of it.
Yeah, it's a lot better to go to the movies than lose $100, guys.
Yeah, for sure.
I might just go watch that space movie that came out.
What space movie? I love space movies.
Yeah, they came out with one about Neil Armstrong
Oh.
going to the moon. I forgot. It's with the guy from.
Oh, it's in theaters?
Yeah, it's in theaters.
I got
Or
kids.
you can two-way it up over here. We'll keep it family. This is a family show here.
Right.
Two-way. First Man. There you go. Jason knows what it is. It's called First Man. Gotta see that IMAX.
You can see I drew this resistance line here on SQ And where did it go? It went right up to my little resistance line. See if this VWAP projection fulfills here for SQ. Like I said, I'm not going to trade it. It's just outside of my range. Too expensive. It's a VWAP projection, so I feel like the accuracy rate is going to be down a little bit, but solid risk reward there. We'll see what happens, though. Uh-oh, draws bounce back to 6. Super low volume, though. Yeah, I feel like the Jeopardy music should be playing.
Yeah, it's one of those days. I think we went to the moon, you know?
Alright, so there it goes. There goes SQ. Look at that. Drew that resistance line, tapped that resistance line, came right back down.
Viso, getting strong there, guys. Getting strong. Breaking out. That VWAP bounce would have paid off there. Getting through those 40s, now those 50s. The only thing I don't like about this stock is just I don't see really the potential in trying to long this stock as it's so extended. And it could get some buyers up here, but I don't think it's a move that's going to go really fast to $16, $17, $18 here. So that's why I'm just kind of just watching. I'm a watcher today, guys. There's no point in pushing for something that's not there. Kron trying to make that move to $9, just slowly ticking up on the daily chart. This is always good, guys, because it's going to give us a potential eventually to get a nice short on Kron. We just have to wait for that red day. You know, we've been seeing green, 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 green. I highly doubt this stock is going to go green all the way back up there to its resistance, 1348. Eventually, it's going to find a resistance, probably $9 or somewhere up here to the 10s, and come right back down.
Appreciate the sub. Arjun, appreciate it, man. Welcome, brother. Yeah, just a dull day.
It happens.
Not a dull day, actually. Just a dull day for my patterns and setups.
That's it.
You know.
Can't do much about that.
The ABCD setup. The ABC setup. Who teaches that? Foose.
Nah, that's nobody's setup. That's everybody's setup.
Yeah.
No one owns that one.
I'm assuming it's the flag setup, right?
It's a continuation pattern. I kind of talked about it a little bit yesterday with Yelko. You guys got to know. So what it does is it's a continuation pattern. What are continuation patterns? Are essentially a group of small term flag patterns or pennants. It could be a lot of triangles. And what it does is it has spurts. When a stock makes a real move, sometimes it has what we call the ABCD pattern, where it has that first move, which is a good breakout, that first A move. Then you get a nice extension on B, that final drive on C, followed by occasional. That what we get is that D move. That D move usually
I got your
involves
chart
a
up
fake out.
if you want to show them.
Yeah, I can pull up Yelko from yesterday. This is kind of one of the patterns that I talk about. And the way you got to trade them is that you have to know the pattern. So if you go back to Yelko yesterday, guys, you get this first drive. This is that A move. Then you get that B move. All right, guys, B move up. Then you get a C move, a nice explosion up there to those 840s. Then it tries to make a D move. And what happens when it gets up past those 40s? It just fails. And usually this happens after that C move. And not a lot of stocks make a move past that D drive, which is right here on this green bar. Eventually, the stock tries to drive again, but can't get past it and just starts failing back down. What do we see today, guys? The stock tries those levels and it can't get past them right now. So, what am I doing as a trader? I'm drawing a trend line from the top of Yelko all the way across, all the way to today. I needed to get back above in these $8 range, above 820, and that will show me that this stock is making that drive again towards those 840s, 850s. So that's essentially how you do the ABCD pattern. We go over it more in our nightly classes. It's not one that is a very common pattern to trade successfully as a beginner trading. I always say beginner traders have a lot more kind of in and out trades versus continuation patterns. Continuation patterns, a lot of time you're going to get in, you're going to get that explosion, you're going to sell some, and you're going to let it continue going throughout the pattern. As long as the pattern doesn't deny it, then you go ahead and keep holding, and it gives you that ability, like yesterday, for me to get out above eights and getting up there to about 830s, 840s on Yelko.
Look at I'm gonna pull you down real quick. Look at DRNA here.
DNA.
DRNA. It's tradable too.
Drives is getting a drive too. The shippers look like they're getting a little drive there. DRNA.
DRNA as in David.
Yeah, I see it. I don't like how that first wash candle is so high up on the bounce, 89 there. Now you're more tightly range bound at the bottom. It's really
13.
not my kind of trade.
Yeah, it's not mine either. It's just the only one I'm seeing fading to the VWAP.
The only one I could see is if you got it early and you got that early bounce at 13, and then you took in some profit, and then you're willing to add your shares back here at VWAP, then that doesn't sound bad.
Right.
You know, if you have an average up there to like, let's say 1336, then there's no problem with adding here at the VWAP, looking for that move back to 1251. But I could easily see it just bouncing up there to 1365. And so that's too much risk for the reward.
In the trade, for sure. Yeah, I think the reward may only be at 13 anyway. Yeah, man, slow day. Probably going to close it down soon. Just not seeing anything I really like. Long day for sure. Cron doesn't look bad, though.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep an eye on the kind of slow movers like Yelko. You know, yesterday we saw a late move in this stock. I have no problem keeping an eye on it and seeing where it goes.
For sure.
Because at any point here, we could get a lot of buyers to step up at 8, and it can rip out like it did yesterday. Yesterday, it ripped out from 720s all the way up to 780s in one candle. 70 cents in one candle.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're getting kind of what we call an symmetrical triangle here. It's kind of starting to rise here. I would use a 5-minute with Yelko so you can kind of better understand the chart. And then when you look for your entry, you go into the 1 minute. But you use the 5-minute to tell you trend. 5 minutes is going to help you determine the trend, especially on a slow moving stock.
Yeah, Fit had a nice little VWAP bounce. I've seen a lot of VWAP bounces today, really. And so Cron did one, Fit did one, a few others. And look at Kron go. I mean,
Rip
this is
through the
actually
nines.
good.
Rip through the 9.
I don't think yet, but
About
yeah.
there's a resistance right above it, right there at 9. It's just doing the resistance move, guys. I always talk about these on the dailies. It starts to move, starts moving up, and just stair steps all the way up to the resistance. I'm watching AMD guys on a 5 minute. It's looking like a good flag pattern. It needs to hold for a little while longer. Maybe attempt down to these 90 somethings and then hold, swing back around, get above 20s, and then it could go long. A breakdown for this pattern would be underneath 1990s. Shouldn't get back below that again. MBEV, yeah, I was watching that one. That was looking like it was shooting up. Just can't trade it. So
Yeah, it's following CRON for the most part. TLRY, I bet. CGC, all doing the same thing. CGC probably looks the strongest, really. CGC, and Kron both look pretty strong. Not even a big pullback in sight.
you know, which was one that I wish it would just held a little bit longer for me. That I kind of really liked it and called it out, but just didn't have enough pattern on the long side. Was PBR. PBR, that breakdown, was talking about it at 957.
Little rejection.
And it rejected there and just really hard there. Now doing a little bearish pattern there, getting really heavy as it went through the 1620s.
All right, we got a little bit of a move back up for NIO here. We'll see what happens.
It's 15,000 shares going through there at 680.
Yeah, I know, I see it. 15,009 shares. Mitch, you were wrong, brother.
Oh. I don't know who was that. That was definitely retail right there.
Right.
No. He's probably like, what? I have 15,000 shares in 9?
Right.
Where'd the 9 come from?
Right. Yeah, for sure. I seriously doubt it's algorithmic traders doing that.
Yeah, that was definitely a typing error. That he was like, all right, I'll do 15,000. And then he went to go hit another zero. And
He hit 9. Right.
Hey, that's how trading is. You get a little emotional, especially hitting those 15,000 shares.
Right. I mean, I'm watching NIO. If it gets up to 7, tight risk of, let's see, about 7.13, 13-cent risk. Potential reward at least down to, 685, 680s. Don't mind that.
One of the good things that you guys can learn from a day like today is, me and John were very, very much excited to trade today. We saw some pre-market movers that we liked. We were more than willing to take trades, but as you guys see, nothing's really setting up to our setups. And instead of us forcing trades, we both have decided to just kind of wait. And if it doesn't come, it doesn't come, Discipline is everything in trading. You got to know when to actually attack stocks and when to hold on, when to relax. If your pattern is not there and you go to force a trade, what it's going to do is it's going to ruin what we call the stats behind your process. The stats actually help you. Yesterday I had 2 losers, but just because I set my risk to reward most of the time for a 3-to-1, it gives me that ability to make up for those 2 losses with 1 win. And next thing you know, in 3 trades, I can only have 1 winner, 2 losses, and still be in the green. This is what we try to do. And today we haven't seen that risk to reward match, especially on the pattern side. And so we just kind of hanging around, just watching.
Yep.
It's always better to watch, save your capital. And always what I talk about, this is actually a lesson that I got through different people, but throughout the years, I've learned that, you got to save your mental capital. What we consider your mental capital is your in the zone-ness. You can't be always in the zone. You can't always be there. Today, is not a day to stress out because you make a dumb trade, a stupid risk to reward trade. And next thing you know, you draw those emotions into the rest of the week. And that's how you really kill yourself for the whole week as a trader. Most traders don't really kill themselves because of one trade. They kill themselves because they emotionally react and kind of trigger this emotional pain that we all have inside. And next thing you know, it all comes out. Next thing you know, you feel like your patterns don't match. You start hesitating. You start making errors of judgment. And this all comes from one trade, one snap out of your discipline. And next thing you know, you can't tackle what you want to do.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's just about sticking to your it's just about sticking to your plan. If your plan doesn't fulfill, if there's no solid plans available, then just move on, man. Can you explain how to use the boxes on the left to take trades? So these are scanners. Okay, so these all boxes, these are actions heating up right now in the market. It kind of shows you the bigger movers from today. Massive volume and low float is kind of self-explanatory. Just shows you stocks that have had a lot of volume with a small float. Breaking out on volume shows you stocks that are breaking out with volume spikes. So you can type in ATIS, see it ran some, BHC, see it ran some, RGLS, started to push back up some, ATUS. And so these are just scanners that show you what's going on and kind of help you identify stocks. Shout out to Trade Ideas, though. They are cool enough to let me use their scanners.
All right, guys. AMD, guys. AMD is getting up to that level, guys.
And so if any
Now, I'm really interested in AMD, guys.
AMD. So yeah, if anybody's interested in signing up to Trade Ideas, I can post this link here. You can go check them out. A really awesome customizable scanner. You can build your own scans with Trade Ideas, which I always thought was pretty cool. So regardless of what your niche or strategy is in trading, you could typically build a scan around it. So go check them out. I just posted their link. Shout out to them for being cool enough to let me stream their scans. And so shout out to Trade Ideas. There's the link in the chat.
All right, guys. Trying to get long here on AMD. I have an order out there right now at 2010. It's just 200 shares, willing to increase my share size somewhere near that $20 range. The risk on this stock is $19.99. I definitely saw this stock just start moving. I've been watching it on the 5 minute. The 5 minute looks nice.
All right, I got you up.
We should get a pullback here. Let's see where this pullback goes as we've gotten this extension through the resistance line. We got this trend line. We got 1 point here, 2 points here. We get the third point, kind of a breakout here right through 2010. We want it to hold down, get to probably about the 90 EMA, 2010, and then it's going to go ahead and explode up there. Looks like I might have missed it early. I was kind of trying to get into this, but the whole limit thing, it's kind of taking me a couple more seconds to adjust. I'm not really hitting buys on the market, but kind of adjusting where my limit is, trying to get my limit out there before the price gets to it. And I couldn't do it in this case as it was already at 2010. So I had to put out my order after it broke out through 2010 for that amount. Wasn't able to get filled here. It's already at the resistance where I would be taking some profit right there at 20s, 23, and then looking for the extension, looking like it's just going to be classified a miss. It's a little annoying because it's exactly my pattern, but just wasn't able to capitalize on it. I'll just let it go. There's no point in staying on it. It's just going to cause me to want to take the second entry. Second entry is always not as good as the first one because I would already be in the green, guys. I would already have some profit here. And so when it pulls back, if I go into it now and it just crashes down on me, that's not the entry that I should have been in. And it'll actually cause that downward emotional feel. You want to get into where, your first entry and established trading plan was. In this case, it was there. It just didn't give me a chance to really tackle it.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go ahead and close the stream down. Just not seeing anything I really like. Maybe if NIO pops up to the VWAP a little bit later on, I might take it. But at this point, I'm just observing, not seeing anything I really like. So, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We day trade live on stream every weekday morning for free right here on YouTube. And so don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We do it every weekday morning and kind of trade live for everyone. Also, if you're interested in signing up to TradeNet, I do have a link that can get you 10% off any package you choose. I make a small commission from it, but like I said, it's one of the ways we keep the stream free. And so if you want to help support the channel, you can go through my link. I really appreciate it if you do. And there's the link right there. And yeah, just not a bad day in the market. Hopefully we keep getting days like today. A little bit more of a long day, I would say. And so got to be ready to maybe take some long trades coming up. But not a bad day, really. Not a bad day. Saw a few fades, but wasn't able to capitalize on it. And yeah, so don't forget to hit the like button on this video. It does help support us. We appreciate any support we can get. So if you appreciate this content, click the like button on this video. We definitely appreciate it. And yeah, have a good day, y'all. We'll see you all tomorrow morning, same time as always.